Hey there, Chris here from IELTS Advantage, and in this lesson we're going to look at 7 signs you're not ready for the IELTS test yet. This is not a video to be negative or to put anybody off or to scare anybody. If you were standing in the middle of the road and a car was about to hit you, would you like me to tell you to get out of the way before the car actually hits you? This video is designed to help you, not to scare you or be negative in any way. The reason why I'm making this video is we see hundreds of people every single day email us and say, I've booked my test and they are not going to get the score that they need. They are not ready. So this is going to save you a huge amount of time, a huge amount of stress, and more importantly, a huge amount of money, because you're not going to throw it away failing the test again and again and again. So these are 7 things that we see every single day with our students, and let's look at number 1. You're doing the test because of a deadline, not because you're ready. So you might have a job offer, or you might have a deadline in terms of immigration or something like that, or you want, or your husband or your wife or your family want you to get the test done in a certain amount of time. That's like saying, I want to have a baby, but I don't want to wait 9 months. A baby will be ready in 9 months. You cannot rush that. Exactly the same with your IELTS test. You will be ready to do the test when you are ready, and not 1 minute before that. So if you put a deadline on it, so let's say you're like, I want to do it in 6 weeks, but in reality it's going to take you 3 months or 6 months to get ready, what's going to happen? You're going to do the test, throw away your money, you're going to fail, either give up or continuously fail over and over and over again. You need to understand what to do and be able to do those things. In order to get a band 7, you need to be able to do band 7 things. And until you reach that point, you shouldn't book the test. And that brings me on to the second point. You're doing the test because you booked it, not because you're actually ready. This is the most common answer that I get when I say, why are you doing the test? Because I booked it. So what a lot of people think is, I'll book the test, I'll get my date, and then that will give me all the motivation I need in order to do all the work, and I'll be ready magically on that day. That's a bit like me saying, I want to book a holiday, but I don't have the money to actually pay for that holiday, and magically I'm going to gather up that money. So let's say I want to go to Barbados, and I want to go on a holiday that's $20,000. I don't have $20,000, but I tell myself if I book it next August, I'll have that money then. That's very, very wishful thinking and very dangerous thinking. Again, don't book your test until you are ready. Until you are able to consistently get those scores in practice, you're not going to be ready just because you booked the test. Number 3, another student, or more likely, someone pretending to be an expert, told you you're ready. If you go on to Reddit or Facebook or even Instagram or YouTube, you get thousands and thousands of people posting their essays and saying, am I ready for the test? And other students telling them that they're ready for the test. That's like going to a hospital and instead of talking to a doctor or a nurse, talking to the patients. So imagine going in with a broken leg and saying, I don't want to speak to the doctor or the nurse because they're too expensive. Guys, the other people with broken legs, when do you think this will be healed, or can you help me? Doctors are there for a reason. Lawyers are there for a reason. Teachers are there for a reason. They are experts. They have trained for many, many, many years in order to help people. You should be using those people instead of asking someone who knows nothing about what they're doing. And the reason why I haven't just put students here, I've also put people pretending to be experts. You know yourself, everybody these days is calling themselves an IELTS expert because they're interested in your money. It's an easy way to make money. Be very, very careful about someone who's looking at your writing or listening to your speaking and telling you you're ready. If they don't know what they're doing, then they're basically giving you bad advice that is going to lead to you throwing away lots of money and causing you a lot of stress. Number 4, you finished a course, read a book, or watched lots of videos. Just because you complete a course doesn't mean you're ready for the test. Just because you've read every single IELTS book in the world doesn't mean you're ready for the test. Just because you've watched every YouTube video or every video on Facebook doesn't mean you're ready for the test. I recently spoke to another business owner and he told me that he was reading lots of books on leadership and he couldn't understand why people didn't think that he was a good leader. And I said to him, you will become a good leader the day that everyone else thinks that you are a good leader, because you've demonstrated that to them, not because you've read a bunch of books. Or you will get people reading books about how to make money. Just because you've read a book on how to make money doesn't mean that you can go to the ATM machine, click that button and check your balance and you'll magically have $1 million in the bank. That's not how it works. You actually have to do the things that it teaches you in those books. Exactly the same with IELTS. Just because you've done a course doesn't mean you actually are going to be able to do the things contained within that course or written in those books or in those videos. Number 5, but I'm nearly there. This is the most frustrating one to deal with. Lots of students we deal with, they might be at a 6.5, for example, in their writing, and we tell them, you just need to fix this one little thing. It's going to take you a little while to get there, but it's just one little thing, but until you fix this, you're never going to get to a 7. And what they tell themselves is, it's just one little thing, or it's just 2 little things. I'm nearly there. I'll book my test and I will get lucky on test day. You're not going to get there. Until you are at a band 7, you're not going to be able to magically get a band 7 on test day. Number 6, you're not ready if you're using any of these things. So I know that this is a stressful test and it's a lot of work. And what happens is your test date is looming, it's coming up. And what you do is you start looking for tricks and tips and shortcuts and hacks. And you go online and you find magic structures and super methods and golden vocabulary and diamond grammar. Anything that sounds anything like that, if you are relying on any of these, it means one thing: you're not ready. Why are you not ready? Because people who know what to do don't rely on tips and shortcuts and hacks. By admitting that you are using these, you're basically saying, I'm not at that level, so I need to basically learn how to cheat the test. You're not going to be able to do that. Anybody watching this video, if you've tried any of these in the past, tell me what happened. I guarantee that you probably failed. And number 7, hope and luck are not strategies. I know this is something that you really want to happen and it's going to change your life, but hope and luck are not going to get you there. You're not going to magically get lucky. It doesn't matter how much you hope, it matters how much action you take. So how do you know that you are ready? So you will be ready when you're consistently getting the scores that you need on a consistent basis before you even book the test. If you are not at that level, you should find someone to help you, identify the exact reasons why you're not at that level, and then turn those weaknesses into strengths. That is extremely simple to do. It's not easy to do. It means you're going to have to put in some work and do a few things, but that is much, much, much better than relying on hope and luck and tips and tricks and students telling you that you're ready and booking the test because you hope that you'll be lucky next time. None of those things will work. Actually taking action and getting to that level will work. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.